What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Thor Media podcast. I'm your host, Stock from Detailing Made Simple, and today I have something special for you all. So we are still continuing the Rinseless Wash tier list, and I do have above here just what we have so far. A couple brands didn't make the list just because the House of Rags didn't have it in stock, and it's just something that I'm just don't want to prolong for too long and move on to a different series. And today we'll be talking about Detail Co's Low-Key. So this is their foaming rinseless wash, and this is still in the same pH neutral range. It's just something that you have to keep in mind. I do have the overhead on how dirty Titan Tim's Saturn is. He's been very, very helpful on doing these tests because this is something that we want to just keep going and keep testing. And I do test this, especially the foaming rinses, because I've never really used it, never really intrigued me. But I do have some positive things to say of this, of course. And I've used this. This is going to be my fourth time and Titan Tim's first time ever using it. So it'll be great to hear him. And the audio was messed up. So as well on the overhead, you'll see that it's just a fast forward clip of me explaining the dilution ratio. So first off, it is 1 ounce or 2 ounces to 32 ounces in a foamer and 3 ounces inside a foam cannon if you're using a pressure washer. And I already have it diluted in here. And also inside my gallon bucket, which you still see on the overhead as well, is your standard 256-to-1. So I do have 2 gallons of water inside my bucket, and I ended up putting 1 ounce of Low-Key in there. So we are ready to start our rinseless wash. So hopefully you all enjoy this type of content. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to save at the House of Rags, just use code DMS at checkout for 15% off. It helps me out as a content creator. And let's get started with this rinseless wash. All right, so for today we are going to have a separate type of angle this time, and you can see all the water spots, bit of dirt and stuff like that. I do have the foamer pumped up, and here it is, Low-Key Titan Tim. Here you go, foam on half of the hood, and let me know your impressions on, I guess, just the foam in itself.
Pretty thick foam.
Yep. And that is just 2 ounces in a foamer. All right. So now that you have that done, I'm going to just go overlap just a little bit on this side because we're going to do the contact here. So traditionally, you'll just let this dwell for a bit. And if you want, you can actually rinse it off, right? So what I'm going to do as a rinseless wash step, and this is, like I said, this is the pre-treat, but at the same time, as you can tell, it's not like your traditional rinseless wash where you're spraying it with a garden sprayer and then you're removing that grit off, right? This is different. It just foams on. You see it's encapsulating, grabbing some of that dirt, but you're not releasing all that dirt off the surface. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does. And remember, this is ceramic coated by Odin, what, a couple months ago, I think?
Yeah. I think this was done in October. It's been a while already, like four months already.
We're gonna have to look that up.
So right here, I do have Nemesis inside this foamer, and this is one of those things where it's a little bit different, right? Or not the foamer, my Keck sprayer. And traditionally, you want to rinse this off. So if you just step out of the way real quick, I'll do this half, or you know what? You spray that half, Tim, out on this side.
We're just spraying in the whole half of the hood?
You just this quarter, so this way we could do a test of like showing.
Sounds great.
Yep. Look at that, it's already beating up. You see that? That's Odin right there.
Yeah, Odin's pretty stout.
So now what we're going to do is do your traditional rinseless wash of leaving that foam there, right? So just on this part of the hood. So grab your sponge. And then, yep.
Smooth, very smooth.
Very slick, right?
Yeah, definitely seems like it.
And then you can flip it over and just finish the rest of the bottom half that you just sprayed off. And then that is it.
Wow, that's slick.
Yeah. So now that that's done, you can, what a lot of people, what I'll suggest to do is give it a double pass, right? So go right over it one more time, because as you can see, it's like slurry water, a little bit dirty, but it's been what, close to a month?
Since I washed it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 weeks to a month, possibly. Left it alone for quite a while, just for
these
our
tests.
purposes. Yep.
Yeah, so, all right, so that's it. So now, a lot of people will say, oh, can't you dry this? And yes, you can. And you will let me know to dry off. Here, I do have the new Weapon of Mass drying towels. So this is my first time and Titan Tim's first time using it.
Go for it.
So here, go for it. Try that first, because I'll make a dedicated review.
Wow, this feels pretty cool.
So how's the wipe off?
Holy smokes, is this thing dry. Wow.
Feels nice. It is brand new out the pack too, but how is the dry off in terms of the rinseless wash?
It's not ultra slick. It's kind of medium.
Medium. And that is pretty much on the ballpark of where I give it to. Not ultra slick, it's not, but I'm not afraid that I will scratch the car in any way, shape, or form. So let me grab that 50-50 shot.
But look how nice and white the hood is.
Yep.
Compared to over here.
Yep, that is the 50-50 shot I am going to grab. So this is that, no streaks left behind, and this is what's left. So a big difference for sure. So we'll continue doing the rest of the rinseless wash on the rest of the vehicle and see you all on the outro once we're done. All right, everyone. So hopefully you all enjoyed this rinseless wash video, and we are gonna rank it on our tier list. So Titan Tim, first things first, we're gonna break down the cost like we typically always do. So in terms of cost, Loki for a 16-ounce bottle, in terms of January 2026, it is $13 for 16 ounces, or you can get it for a gallon for $44.99, which is $45, and then use whatever discount code of your choice to bring down that cost. Now, Titan Tim, second thing we're gonna talk about is the cleaning capability. What did you think about the cleaning capability, overall?
Yeah, that's the first time I actually used it, and it cleaned very, very well, actually. I was really impressed with the cleaning.
Yep. And then I agree. This is my fourth time using it. So in terms of cleaning, as you saw where I took the clip, I grabbed the under part of Titan Tim's car, got all that grit, went down to the grit guard, came out perfectly clean on the rinseless wash sponge, not the sponge, on the microfiber microfiber towel, which typically microfibers like to grab more and hold on to more dirt, and then on the sponge it just release just easily well. Now in terms of the dry off, what do you think about the dry off?
Dry off, slickness, it wasn't really too slick. I'd put it in a medium category, but the look of the paint after it was dry, it was pretty shiny actually for 27-year-old paint.
Yeah. So in terms of the dry off, same thing, medium. You know what? I'll put it close to I want to say kind of like a Hydra, like in terms of like the dry off. It wasn't like grabby. It wasn't. It's like a medium. Yeah. But in terms of like what you said, it released dirt great. Shiny 50-50 as you saw from the first clip. It did a great job overall. Now, what are some of the dislikes, for example, on your end?
Well, my first dislike, I guess, would be when I'm drying it, there's crevices in the car. If you don't rinse the foam off, the foam is stuck in the crevices and you can't really get the drying towel in there to get all of that foam out. So, like under the wiper blades, if there's the grill, various gaps that are small, medium, large, or whatever, you can't really get in there and dry it too well. I feel I would be rinsing it every time if I were to ever purchase this, but I know that's one of the benefits. You really don't have to, but it's just too much foam stuck in the crevices for me.
Yeah. So for me on my end for me, I don't prefer the foam, and the reason is more or less of what Titan Tim said as well. It's just foaming on the cracks. there is a pro and a con to everything, right? So in terms of the foaming attribute, a lot of people always says, well, if I do foam on a rinseless wash, if it's a foaming rinseless wash, I can grab a brush and start brushing the cracks and crevices, which is like, okay, makes sense, right? But then at the same time, if you're just foaming it on and letting that foam cling onto the surface, traditionally, you're just not going to grab a soap or whatever of your choice, or a sponge or a wash mitt, and just start going to town, because with the pressure of even if it's your IK sprayer or the keg sprayer, whatever sprayer of your choice, you're using that force, that PSI that's in there, whether it's 80 or whatever amount of pressure that's coming out of your sprayer, you're using that to apply the rinseless wash onto the surface. You're going to see that grit fall down versus where you saw on one square that we did, Tim. It's just foam just sitting there. It's not, yes, it's releasing the dirt. It is pulling off the dirt. You saw when Tank and Tim sprayed off that first square with the keg sprayer, but the thing is, you're just not going to spray on the foam and just go straight to town. That is my key with it.
Yeah, if I don't know if they're going to continue to make it or not, but if they're going to keep it as a foam, I would make it more runny of a foam. It's too clingy, it's too thick, and it just stays there.
Yep, and I use the recommended dilution. Yes, you could use it less, but overall, in terms of did it work, it did work. It did its job. In terms of pros and cons, the con for me is the foam, and like you said, it's just on the cracks and crevices and how I traditionally use it. So it's not really my go-to. Let me know down in the comments below if you use low key, what you use it for. In terms of scent, I did like it. It's a pleasant scent. It smells like honeydew. It's a nice, pleasant scent.
Yep.
But in terms of everything else, it did a job good. It's just I just don't like the foam.
I don't either.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah. I just didn't like the foam, and it goes back to a couple of other people that I know that just don't like the foaming attributes. And this is, if you're gonna use foam, just stick to your soap wash at that point. That's just my personal opinion.
True.
You know, because if we're gonna rinse it down again with rinseless wash to rinse down all that foam, then we're defeating the purpose.
Exactly.
So, what tier would you put this in?
Well, to answer that question, I'd probably put it at a C.
C tier?
Yep.
Okay. For me, I'll put it, so does that mean we're gonna have to change a bit of Hydra of where we put it at? Because
it's kind of similar to Hydra, but you make a good point, because
it releases.
It's kind of it releases all right. The wipe off and putting it on with the sponge, moving it around is about the same as Hydra, but the annoying part is the foam. So I would like to officially change that from a C to a D.
So no, to Hydra? No, I'm talking about Hydra.
No.
No, because Hydra was a B tier. That's why. So if Hydra's a B, right, and you remove it, remember Hydra's weak point was removing the dirt off the media.
Right.
And the dry off is scrappy too as well.
Right.
So, that is just, so are we dropping Hydra down to the same tier as Loki? Because based on the pros and cons, they're both the same. Because this clean better than Hydra.
Loki is annoying.
No, it is
to get
annoying.
off the car, so I would have to put Loki as a lower tier than Hydra.
Okay, makes sense.
So yeah, I'm still going to keep it as a D. Yep.
So as a C, no, because Hydra's a B.
It's too annoying. Plus, the other reason why I'm going to put it as a D is I'm really not going to buy this.
All right, so there he goes. He gets a D. For me, I'll put it below Hydra, in my personal opinion. Now, in terms of cleaning capabilities, yes, it cleans the media better than Hydra. It is slicker than Hydra, and the dry off is a bit slicker than Hydra. It's not the slickest, but the most annoying part is the foam aspect. Is you're leaving that thing on the panel, it just sits there. It's just. Yeah, so I agree with that. Even on some of the wipe off, when you just wipe off the foam, it leaves those little foamy streaks, which is a little bit annoying as well. So yeah, just a foaming rinseless wash is not for me, and maybe for some of you. Just leave it all down in the comments section down below. And yeah, other than that, Tank and Tim, anything else?
I think that's it. I think we broke it down pretty well.
Yep. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, subscribe to Titan Tim's channel called Shine Your Light Detailing on YouTube. And same thing with mine, Detailing Made Simple. And this was a fun tier list to do, the final tier list. I'll probably make a walk overview, separate dedicated video, you know, a podcast type, 20-minute video of me just doing the whole breakdown on why each one went there, just to summarize it all up. And then if anybody wants to come back, they could just watch that, each individual video. So I will see you all on the next one. Peace.